Hi. It's been about 3 years and I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Where have I been? I have been hit by the perimenopause truck, unfortunately. About 3 years ago, I started to develop some depression and anxiety that I had never experienced in my life. Turned 42, and it was almost like instantly when I turned 42, my entire life changed. And I've learned a lot. And so I'm here to kind of share my experience and try to get myself back on track with this whole YouTube thing. So let's start. First of all, I have dealt with so many problems from head to toe. Like I had mentioned, serious depression to the point where I had no motivation to do any of the things. I could not practice what I preached for the life of me. And I honestly think the very first symptom I noticed was insatiable hunger. I was hungry all the time, no matter how I ate. I could eat all the things that I preached, high protein diet, blah, blah, blah. And it didn't matter. I was starving and I gained like 25 pounds over a period of about a year, which was crazy for me because before that I was in the best shape of my life. I was eating so clean. I was working out so consistently. I was very proud of the work that I had put in. And suddenly I just could not be bothered to do any of that anymore. What was the point of waking up every day? I was in a very, very dark place. And I'd go to doctors, and the doctors would be like, it's just your age. And then some health problems along with the perimenopause kind of initiated a conversation about perimenopause. I had not even thought of it until those health problems hit. Within those 3 years, I also got hit head on in a car accident by a drunk driver. I knew that the reason that I was not able to kind of like jump back and bounce back like I had my whole life was because I suddenly was dealing with these hormonal issues. So I had hair thinning, which was really hard. Had a lot of thick hair, and thankfully I had a lot of thick hair because I think the way the hair was coming out, I would probably be bald if I hadn't had already had thick hair. So I'm thankful that I still have hair on my head because it's still a bit of an issue that I've dealt with. Suddenly hormonal acne, like really bad. I lost a lot of elasticity in my face and just like plumpness in my face. A lot of wrinkles started coming out. That was just my face alone. Got frozen shoulder, which is crazy. Like, who even knew that that was a thing? And it knocked me down for about 7 weeks. It was really rough. Like I said, I was gaining a lot of weight. So obviously there's always the bloating that was going on with that. Suddenly had even worse acid reflux than I had ever had before. When somebody tells you that they have symptoms of perimenopause that seem like they're completely absurd, I trust everything that anybody says because these hormones, the estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, that go crazy, they literally affect so many things like your vision, my voice. I started to take some hormone replacement therapy, which has been honestly a lifesaver for me. And I'll get into that a little bit more. But hormone replacement therapy, I don't want to preach it to everybody because I know that's not the right answer for everybody. But for me, it was literally, I mean, life saving, quality of life changing. Had I not started it, I feel like I would still just be in the corner of my couch, wallowing in my sorrows, I guess, because that's where I spent about 3 years of my life, honestly. So it completely changed my personality. I suddenly had imposter syndrome. I couldn't do none of the things that I was doing before did I feel qualified to do. I just didn't even want to hang out with friends anymore. I was grumpy. I was moody. You name it. I don't know. So now I'm here to talk to you a little bit about some of the things that I'm doing to kind of turn things around. And like I said, hormone replacement therapy is probably the biggest change that I've discovered. I literally was buying happy lights. I don't know if you've heard about them, just thinking that it was seasonal depression. And then the summer would come and I'd be like, it's not going away. So I have tried everything. And here are some things that I feel like have helped me along the way in this journey. I want to start by saying there is no magical fix because even the hormone replacement therapy, it wasn't like I snapped a finger and I was good. I'm still figuring out my levels. And it's been about a 9-month journey so far. And every part of the journey has been a little bit of an improvement, but I did start testosterone because my energy levels were still low. I started the lowest progesterone, lowest estrogen, and that was helping with other things like my mood and some other things like my hair falling out. But then I was like, I still feel like I have no motivation to do anything. So I started testosterone gel, and then I started to notice that I was having issues with my singing voice. That's like very concerning. So I went to ears, nose, and throat specialist and got my voice scoped. I didn't think it was related to the testosterone. And so I kind of was like, well, I'm not going to go off of it yet, but I kept having issues, kept having issues. I kind of ended up staying off of the testosterone and then recently had my estrogen patch leveled up to a higher dose. And that seems to kind of have helped me kick back with the energy. So that's been really good for me. But again, it's been quite a journey trying to get to even this point. And I'm still not 100% who I was before I turned 42 and started going through this. So some of the things that I have noticed have helped me. I have removed energy drinks from my life. I was using energy drinks to try to get myself up, moving. And I feel like when I first started, it would give me a little bit of a boost of energy. And so I got so addicted that I was like hardcore downing them, like high milligrams every day, and that would give me a crash and I'd get really moody. So I've moved from energy drinks and I'm doing natural caffeine through teas, and that seems to be really, really helping me a lot. It's a much more sustained energy, and I don't have that crash, which it's been working for me. So throughout the whole process, before that, I was hardcore strength training, and then I lost a lot of motivation, and I still was kind of strength training, but then I hit a wall when I got in my car accident, and it kicked me down to where my doctors were saying I couldn't strength train. But doing my physical therapy and getting myself back into strength training has been huge, because you will see muscle loss. Your body just gets weird, and in perimenopause, your body starts to lose that muscle. So maintaining muscle and eating a high protein diet has helped me sustain a lot of the muscle that I had, even through my car accident and like not being able to do strength training at all for a period of time because my back was jacked up. I still was able to kind of keep my protein levels high, and I feel like I was able to hold on to a lot more muscle than I would have had I not kept eating the protein. Always, always, always track my steps. And for me, I have used a healthy wage, because I'm the type of person who does not want to lose out on some money. So I sign up for healthy wage step competitions, and it forces me to keep my 10,000 steps a day. I think that's one of the things that has helped me from going too far off the wagon of fitness. I definitely made sure, even when I was not able to strength train, that I was getting 10,000 steps every day, whether I liked it or not. And I'll tell you what, there were a lot of days I did not like it, but I would do it for my dogs and just do it for, my health, because I was feeling so bad. One of the biggest things that I have discovered through this whole fitness wellness journey is that I was not very compassionate before with people who just, I'm like, they just aren't trying this. I didn't believe that depression was a real thing, which is crazy to say. I know. I knew tons of people with depression, and I always was like, well, they're just not taking the steps that they need to get themselves out of that situation, until I experienced it, which I usually consider myself a pretty empathetic person, but for some reason I had no empathy at that time. And it was like I had to experience it to believe it. Once I started to realize that depression is a real thing that actually can take over your entire life, I started to give myself more grace, and like obviously everybody that I know that suffers from depression more grace. And giving myself more grace has been like one of the best gifts that I have been given through this perimenopause journey. I know that sounds crazy, but I definitely feel like I was not giving myself grace. I would miss a workout. It was the end of the world. And I was, I was going to die had I not done my workout. I have no goals of being this competitive fitness guru. I just want to be healthy and happy. And that's kind of what I've been able to do, is allow for myself to just know being healthy and being happy comes way before the perfect body. So with the grace that I'm giving myself, I started to kind of immerse myself in more of the recovery process, but not recovering so much or spending so much time on recovery that I'm slacking. That's a hard balance to figure out because it's like, oh, I'm a little tired. I'm going to give myself grace and not do anything today. And then you're like, well, I'm still tired the next day. And I started to kind of get in that pattern for a while. So I had to find the balance of I'm allowing myself grace and recovery, but also know that if I'm working out and strength training and eating right, I'm also going to feel better. So you have to find that balance. So as I've kind of escaped the world and friends and everything during my depression times, I sort of escaped to books, which has been another blessing that I have discovered during this time. I started a book club, a therapist recommended book club. They are the best ladies in the world, and I just have the best time every month with them. I started that book club, and then I just got myself so wrapped into reading, and the reading journey has been incredible. I now set my phone aside every night and I have my Kindle set up in the best way ever, just like the laziest girl way. I have my page turner and it's like on a stand, and I get under my covers and get all snuggly and I use my Kindle, and it's like my brain knows if I'm reading the Kindle, it's time to go to sleep, and I'm out within 2 minutes. So my sleep schedule is nailed down, and that has been incredible. I read during the day, I read at night. I love reading. I listen to audiobooks. I have 3 books going all at once. I always have a Kindle book, a physical book, and an audiobook going all at all times. I just love it. So with all of that, as I've started to feel better, I'm now feeling more inspired to create, which has been a great feeling. I've always been a creator, a singer, an actress, a performer. I just love to move and create and build. Built this library as I started to feel better. I am so excited to get back into this. Of course, I still have my hard days. I do not have it 100% figured out. I don't know that I'll ever have it 100% figured out. Women are complex people. Hormones are very complex, but I feel like I'm in a great space, and I'm hoping that I can find the time to be very consistent again and be back to creating videos that inspire people, that get me trying things again, get me out in the world. So that's what my plan is moving forward. So I know obviously I've learned that I don't have all the answers. I've been humbled, and I'm want to be like a resource, but also I love to research, and I've read a lot of books on menopause and perimenopause and all of that, trying to figure this all out. Don't have all the answers, but if there's more that you'd like for me to share from my experience with this, or just more that you'd like for me to share in life in general, I would love to hear your questions. I'm excited to be back. I'm sure that it's going to take a while for my channel to build back up again, and that's okay. It's going to be a transition, but I'm excited to be here, and please like, subscribe, comment, give me all the things. Let's get this ball going, and help me continue to be inspired, because I know that the people that commented before were always like a huge inspiration to me. So I'm excited. Have a good day.